The history of slave trade in West Africa and the Atlantic Ocean has been well documented, especially in the USA. But the East African slave trade has been forgotten.
So this is how our slaves are held here, and the other hand on the other side.
For me, as a woman of East African descent, focusing on the Caribbean and African American heritage hasn't had a lot of relevance. I have too many questions in my mind, looking for an answer.
When you listen to the Mijikenda, the issue of slavery is as important as the issue of land ownership. You will always hear them that, why should we, for instance, vote for an Arab who was our slave master? You want those people to enslave us even more.
The slavery is itself a major cause of the underdevelopment of the African continent, because Africa suffered seriously through brain drain for some of its most able populations to go and develop other continents, in the USA, in South America, and to Arabia. You see, in the eastern coast, a lot of slaves were taken to the Middle East. This matter needs to be discussed and resolved one way or the other, so that we can be able to put to rest that sad part of human history.
Look at the pain that you inflicted onto these people. Look at the loss that came up as a result of this. Barclays Bank was actually built on the blood of slaves. The bank has become a very powerful one, particularly in East Africa and more so in Kenya. So I think time is ripe really for people to know that this is where that financial establishment started.
So this is the first mosque?
Yeah, this is the first mosque to be built, and it is now a residential home.
Were people forced into religion?
Some were forced and some they just decided to join it because they had no choice.
My questions are presented to real people with emotions and memories that I can relate to. These memories can't be buried under forgotten memorials such as this.
We are all human beings and we all do mistakes. So they should come and apologize.
How can you say sorry for such an horrendous thing? There aren't any words, are there? There's nothing you can do. I mean, they commit these things. It's like the business with the Jews and the Germans and the Nazis with the Jews, isn't it? How can you sort of visualise, you know, the extent of it? I don't think that. I mean, money. I mean, if it's money that they're looking for, I can't see. I would think that would sort of demean the people themselves.
For example, for the people of Frere Town in Mombasa, in Kenya, I think it would be nice for them to have their own historical museum.
Oh,
they should have a university that will specialize in the history and a research center. So we don't know, but I think if there's going to be any compensation, it should go to the victims of the family. The Jews are being compensated.
They're all the children.
So these were children rescued from ships?
Yes. Rescued by this particular ship. The hatches were opened and such a scene never was witnessed. The slaves had been battened down all day during our 9 hours chase. They were all seasick and the stench and filth incredible. Perhaps you can imagine 235 human beings shut up in a place 50 feet by 20 feet. You would be in that position all day, apart from 20 minutes when you were allowed up on deck.
Sasa walishikwa kwenye meli ambao sasa wakati British wanajaribu kuondoa hizi majahazi nini watoe, ndio wakaleta, ndio kambi ikawekwa pale Kengeleni. Na kuna kengele ilikuwa ikipigwa ga ga, watu wanajua majahazi yanakuja ya Arabu kuja kufanya nini? Church Missionary Society. Hiyo ndio walikuja wakatununulia hii settlement. Baada ya kutoka pale, maanake tulikuwa tushaanza kuzaana, tulikuwa wengi, nafasi ikawa ni ndogo, ndio wakatoka. Nimesahau kama nilijua ningekuja na mapo mkaona vizuri settlement yetu vile ilivyo.
Certificate of freehold title. Registered District General. Parcel number 31, Mombasa, Frere Town.
Huyu babu yetu aliyekuwa akikombotela, yeye ni Mnyasa, kwa ni Nyasaland. Zamani ilikuwa ikiitwa Nyasaland. Malawi siku hizi. Basi huyu mzee wetu ndiye alikuwa kama chifu, kwa tujue kama alikuwa mkubwa. Na siku hizi watu wakubwa kama yeye alikuwa hashikwi, japokuwa watu wa taifa yapita ikibaiba watumwa, wa Afrika ndio waliokuwa zaidi wakifanya kazi hiyo.
Nyanya yeye alitoka hapa sehemu za Nyanza,
Kisumu. Kwa Wajaluo.
Hata pengine ni jamaa yako. Sasa yeye asema alivyotuelezea, asema walikuwa wacheza tu kule kwao. Basi wakaja grupu la hao Waarabu siku hizo. Kulikuwa na wengine ambao wauza watoto wa wenzi wao. Sio walitembeza tu. Saa nyingine waenda na sijui walikuwa kitumia gari la ng'ombe, sijui gari la nini, lakini mradi
He's placed here as a token of affection and gratitude by his friends in England and Kenya. He was the last survivor of the 5 faithful Africans who in 1873 carried the body of Dr. Livingstone from Ilala to Bagamoyo. He was one of the faithful Africans from the Frere Towns who helped the missionaries. He was one of the slaves.
Why do you think he was not buried with Livingstone?
I can't tell because the history I know have not been told of such.
I think the British have got to be more open about what their history was. That there has been a tendency in this country to think that our British dealings with Africa, say, have been beneficial and that what we've done is bring civilization to Africa. Well, no one would argue that anymore.
As people of African descent, no matter where we are, we're all still suffering. And I think we have so much in common still. And I think in order for us to actually overcome the barriers that continue to subordinate us and to oppress us, and we can really do that by, in a sense, kind of going back to a sense of Pan-Africanism. And I think that's what's important.
The history is written by the white historians, but African people have a common memory. The stories pass through generations. We could rewrite the history ourselves. This is my personal journey into the history of slave trade in East Africa, which is my home inhabited by my people. I need to travel into foreign lands to find answers to my questions. I am not on a mission like Dr. Livingstone, but I'm in search of the heart that is light after centuries of darkness. Is there a way to move on to reconciliation and involve all the people? Or do we have to continue and carry the weight of memories?